Okay? All right. Um, I was not expecting to start the program, but I'm going to take this occasion to welcome everyone. Thank you, Mayor Wu, for being here, and Superintendent Skipper, my boss. And I see Representative Michaelwitz, and I saw Councilor Flynn and Councilor Murphy. And I'm sorry if there are other public officials here that I haven't met, but thank you very, very much. And I saw the MSBA contingent and all the whole crew. Yeah, I'll just say, one of the students on the first day said to me, Mr. Chang, it's a little overwhelming. And he meant it in the sense that this building, the scale and the majesty, and just, the kids got it, that we really, really believe in our kids, and we're giving them the best of what we have. And in some ways, this really should be the baseline, right? This is what every BPS child should be receiving. So we believe that this is the beginning of a series, many, many, many pipeline projects through the MSBA. I'm off script, so I want to make sure that I acknowledge our Dr. Wong. Dr. Wong is Dr. Bakvan Wong. He was the visionary who saw this before it happened. And he had the faith. A lot of people, I was there, so this is my 19th year at the Quincy Upper School. A lot of people would listen to Dr. Wong's vision, and they would kindly nod, but rather skeptical. Nevertheless, Dr. Wong kept the faith, and there was a group of families around him. They proposed a charter for this pilot school. That would be Robin Quang among the parents, also Agatha Tong. I think they're here. They were the part of the group and Homewing Spicer and others. And then the first group of families included Donna Harris and also Lai So. So those are all family members who came on staff, and they're with us today. And I'm glad that they can see this building come to fruition. And we also have a teacher who was also in the very first class of students. That would be Cam Ho Lau. So we've come full circle. And I also want to thank just all of everybody here represents a different organization, but I definitely want to recognize we have the State Treasurer Goldberg, State Treasurer Goldberg and MSBA. I mean, absolutely, they became our advocates, I will say, and it was just a very, very, very tight relationship. Also, on the city side, of course, the mayor's office and the succession of mayors. Actually, Mayor Wu was the city council president who corralled all the other councilors to achieve a unanimous vote when we had the funding agreement, which was extremely symbolic but also important. And that's a testament to her leadership. And now she became mayor just as we had the topping off ceremony. And we invited her to be our commencement speaker before she was mayor. So we put our money on you before you were elected. All right, so I want to acknowledge PFD. By the way, there have been so many promotions along the way. Everybody's been promoted. I think Steve and I are the only ones who were still in the same position, but we're happy where we are. Also, Skanska, the whole team, Turner Construction, of course, HMFH. I have to say, HMFH provided all of the design concepts, and I'll tell you, everybody says the thoughtful details that went into the design, very thoughtful, right down to right at the texture, the color, everything. If you ever get to see the auditorium, just one small example, look at the ceiling. The ceiling represents the celestial map for September 2024, okay? And then everything else was matched to the celestial just everything has a symbolism, that the bamboo paneling for the sustainability and the cultural reference. If you see our big mural. Anyway, I've gone way over time, so let me give this back. I don't know who am I supposed to give it to. Okay. All right, so Superintendent Skipper, please come on down.
So, it is important at these events, because they're so full of joy, to thank all of the folks that have helped. But, really today, when I think of Quincy Upper and this special ribbon cutting, what comes to mind is that when our city, led by a mayor who, just in her heart and her head, does everything she can with our schools, with a state, with Treasurer Goldberg and the MSBA, and with our district and the community come together, we get magic, and that's what you're about to see today in the Quincy Upper building. It is, it joins Boston Arts Academy, it joins the Carter School as we build a new state-of-the-art, and as the mayor fulfills her promise every day to build high-quality student experience for every student in the BPS. When I walked into this building, knowing the journey all the way back to Bak Fang Wong, and just knowing the advocacy of this community to get this done, I can't tell you, when you step into the auditorium and you look up and you see the stars, you collectively had, 550 students go, whoa, whoa. Like, it's that breathtaking. When you go into the gym of 10,000 square foot and you see that students at last have the areas that they can play and actually be physically active and healthy. When you go into the food science lab, which is something I've never seen, and realize what they're going to be learning in that lab about food. When you go into all of the different spaces, the media center, and you see what a state-of-the-art building means to our children, that's the magic that we have here today. And it really would not have happened had all of these stakeholders not come together. But beyond the vision are the people that actually do the work. So PFD and Chief Irish, Carlton Jones, certainly our capital planning office, Del Stanislaus, Daphne Germain, where are you? Raise your hand. Daphne's worked tirelessly as the senior project manager here in capital planning, along with Carlton and along with Dion, to make sure with MSBA to deliver this project on time and with beauty. So thank you to everyone. Congratulations to Richard and to Stephen. It's been a long journey to get here, but a well-deserved one for the 650 students that will be served so well in these high-quality student seats. So thank you very much. And it's my pleasure to introduce our chair of our school committee, who, again, when I think of tireless advocacy for our children in Boston, every one of them, it's Chair Robinson, Jerry Robinson.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This couldn't be a happier day for all of us in the city of Boston. I bring you greetings from the Boston School Committee. But what I really want to say to all of you, this is what every kid in Boston deserves. Many of us have been here for many, many years. I know how long it took us to get to this one beautiful new building. We need 100 of these buildings, because every single one of our children doesn't deserve anything less than this. This is exciting. We have several other buildings over the last few years that have opened to this kind of grandness, but we need all of your support to make sure we can continue the advocacy to make sure this happens for every Boston child. I haven't been in this building yet, but I just, every time anyone says anything about it, their eyes light up. Whether it's a child, a parent, everyone, their eyes light up because they know this is what Boston can do and this is what we all deserve. So let's work together, let's work collaboratively to make sure it won't take us 15 years to continue to make these kinds of things happen for our kids. Thank you, and I hope you all will enjoy this day as much of the Chinatown community and the city of Boston will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me recognize our school site council co-chair, Ms. Knight. Yeah, Ms. Florence Knight, please. And also co-chair Latia Holmes.
We are so happy with all of this. We're kind of like lost for words. However, we're going to say something. We want to thank everyone who has come together to make this day happen. The students are so happy, they don't even know what to do with themselves, never mind the parents. There's so much that we want to say, but we know we are short for time. But we want to thank these two guys, first of all. We want to thank the superintendent. We want to thank the mayor. We want to thank the governor. We want to thank everyone that played a part in making this happen. We want to thank the parents from the interim of getting us here. We want to thank the spirit that they kept with them from the transition from here to watch the school be torn down, to move over to another school that was very, very difficult for them and the teachers. The teachers are the bomb. You know what I mean? A good bomb, okay? They love our students. The community is wonderful. And this is not just rhetoric. This is real talk. There's a lot of things happening in the world. And when you have good teachers, good staff, good administration, good support, you have a strong community with parents, and the parents will step up and be a part of what this is all about. I could go on, but for the sake of, she has to say something as well. So she's nervous like I am, but she's going to say something.
Well, I would like to concur what Mrs. Knight has said. This has been an amazing journey for our students, for our staff, for our administration, for Mr. Chang and Mr. Sarasola, the superintendent, and we are just excited for what the new year will bring and what we have for our students and parents and teachers. Thank you.
And I believe Mayor, yes, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm going to encourage every speaker also to get right into the mic because we are obviously in the middle of a busy downtown environment, and that is one more reason why this school is so special. And as soon as you step inside, you'll see the calm outside of the traffic noise too, but we're competing a little bit this morning. So I want to just thank everyone who has taken the time to be here, the incredible honored guest list that is going to be saying a few words. The longer a school project takes to come to fruition, the more speakers we have to make sure we are recognizing the incredible work that went into it. So thank you to all of the elected officials here, our superintendent, Madam Chair of the school committee. We also, Ms. Rafa, another school committee member. Gracias por todo. And Del Stanislaus, Chief of Capital Planning for BPS. Daphne, who is already thanks, but needs more and more and more thanks. And of course, to our school leaders here, Steve and Richard, and all of the educators. Can you give a wave if you are an educator here at the Quincy? Thank you. And give a wave if you had a hand at any role in the design, the construction, the community organizing in this process at any point. So it's been a lot of folks pushing this boulder for a very long time. One of the most complex projects that the city has taken on. And so in my role, I'm really here to kind of be the last leg of the relay race. 3 mayors involved in this project, 3 different iterations of teams. And I see Pat Brophy here, who was the chief of operations back in the day under Mayor Walsh. Thank you for getting this project going, believing in it, facilitating all the hard transitions. Carlton actually was on the BPS side of things, now is over on the city facilities side, but there's been so much that had to work with the land swap and all of the very complex pieces to finding space in a very dense downtown area and then designing it to the T based on the curriculum of the school, the unique IB offerings that are available, and also as a place that is meant to be a direct pipeline from the local community. And so I also want to recognize Principal Cynthia Suhu of the elementary school, who is going to be a big collaborator in this. So we're going to take a full tour afterwards, but I had the chance to pop in and also had a wow moment, because even just in the cafeteria area, the mural, the care that has gone into every detail of design, you can feel that this is the embodiment of the talent and opportunity and potential that our young people all hold inside them. I also want to just recognize that this would not have been possible without our partners at the state. And so the Mass School Building Authority, where's Jim? Jim McDonald. Okay, he's way in the back, but thank you to the MSBA. Jim, for executing on the ground and being such an incredible partner. Of course, this is all under Treasurer Deb Goldberg's umbrella and making that happen. We have Rep. Michael Witz, who helps make sure the dollars are there. Oh, and I see one other member of the team that had passed the baton along. Former City Councilor Bill Linehan is here as well, who represented this community for a long time. So nearly 2 years ago, many of us were here to celebrate the raising of the final beam on the project. And that beam has the names, the signatures of so many who contributed to it. This is just, as you heard from Principal Chang, one of the new buildings that is setting the new baseline for Boston Public Schools. Last week, hundreds of students walked in here for the very first time and saw a space designed uniquely for them, for each one of them to reach their full potential, pursue every bit of their dreams. So I'll tell you a little bit for those who haven't gotten the chance to go inside yet. The first 2 floors include the stunning new auditorium, a black box theater, dining hall, gym, and media center, and will be available for use by community groups and local organizations to bring together the entire neighborhood. These spaces, the soundproof band and practice rooms, the dance floor, trainer space, they're all designed to invite the kind of imagination and collaboration that make our schools the source of so much joy and creativity. And because we know that challenging, inspiring, and supporting our young people takes a village, there are also administrative and support spaces on every floor for our amazing educators. Resource rooms, ESL classrooms, dedicated spaces for co-working and collaboration. And because we know that space in the city is so tight, every single inch was put to use. So Carrie Griffith and Evan and Chief Irish and the entire facilities team, thank you, thank you. There's an enormous open air roof with a STEM classroom, central lawn, a mindfulness garden. And it's not just the garden that makes this one of the greenest new buildings in our city. It's also entirely fossil fuel free, equipped with heat pumps, which reduce emissions, while the advanced filter systems protect air quality across all 6 floors. Very important as we're building next to the highway. And we're excited to bring the same approach of inspiring design, climate-friendly construction, and world-class academics to all the new school buildings that are opening, from the P.J. Kennedy in East Boston, the Philbrick and Sumner schools in Rosendale, to the Edwards, the new home for the Horace Mann School for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing in Charlestown. And all across BPS, this year, we've added AP courses and expanded offerings in African American studies, pre-calculus, and research, with more early college and career pathways across our high schools. This school is one more bit of proof of what's possible when we take on the big challenges, work with community members, and make the investments that our young people and families deserve. So thank you again for everyone who helped get this project across the finish line. I want to end by sharing something that Dr. Bak-Fung Wong had shared with me right before. So I'm going to treasure this forever. But he shared a bit of calligraphy that he himself has created in honor of this school and this moment. And it says, "To do the impossible, one has to see the invisible." So there are many people here who saw the invisible and then made the impossible possible. Thank you so much to everyone for all that you have done. Okay, and I'm going to just read the lineup so everyone knows who's next. Next up will be Treasurer Goldberg. Then we'll have our city councilors, Councilor Flynn, Councilor Murphy speak, then Rep. Michaelwitz, Carlton Jones, and we'll do the official ribbon. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Our city council president is here as well, who will come to the mic. Then Carlton, and we'll cut the ribbon. Madam Treasurer.
So for me, the ribbon cutting is the best part. And so I'm going to try to be as brief and talk above the traffic as much as possible. So I'm going to say ditto on all the thank yous to everybody. But one person's name has not come up who deserves a huge shout out, and that is our director of the MSBA, Mary Piketty, and her whole team. And I have news for you. She would not have wanted me to even say that. Right, Mary? That's how humble she is. Wow is the operative term for today. But I'm going to share a personal story of my connection to this school and this project that has nothing to do with me being treasurer or having the MSBA underneath my offices. Dr. Wong, please come up here with me. Come on. I hope that I don't actually tear up. Dr. Wong was a very close friend of my dad's. The two of them got involved very early on in the 1990s when the pilot school initiatives were created. My dad was one of the people behind all that, with Linda Nathan and a few others. He made me join the board, my dad did, as they always made me do, both my parents, to step into their footsteps, and we got to be very close friends. The vision for this school began almost immediately. So when I appeared to be able to be on the scene, to actually work and get my hands dirty, my dad, before he passed away, was so happy and so proud, as was Dr. Wong. But Dr. Wong is the one who gave me the inspiration to be able to visualize what this could be. I knew that the teachers were amazing. I knew that the neighborhood would welcome this school and what it would do for the community. But to be able to stand here today gives me chills. It's the beginning of a new generation. And I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
To see this happen. And I know my dad is looking down from heaven in order to enjoy this day. So I congratulate every single person who put in an effort, who made a phone call, who collaborated, who kept on pushing, who kept on visualizing, because here we are, and the kids and the teachers and the staff and the entire community of Boston is going to benefit from your efforts. So thank you.
Good morning. I'm Councilor Ed. Thank Bill for the work he did working closely with Mayor Walsh. I want to say thank you to the treasurer and her team, and to Jim, and to Aaron Michaelwitz, and to Senator Nick Collins. But it was about working together, city and state leaders, trusting each other, understanding the community, listening to residents. And this is a real credit to the Chinatown community. The Asian community, as we all know, has experienced difficulties over the last 10 years with a rise of anti-Asian racism and hate crimes. But this is a celebration also of the Asian community, of the Chinese community, and the tremendous contributions they have made and sacrifices they have made to our city and to our country. I'm honored to be here. I want to say thank you to the dedicated City of Boston professionals for never giving up on this dream, the staff from the various Josiah Quincy schools that continue to provide exceptional leadership. We've been blessed to have wonderful principals here at Josiah Quincy School, over so many years. And I'm not just saying that because my son was a student across the street, but I think this is one of the best, probably the best school in the city, and it's due to the teachers and the leadership as well. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Erin Murphy, at-large city councilor, so I have the honor of representing all the neighborhoods, but I always do love when I'm here in the Chinatown community. First and foremost, I do want to say that I'm here to celebrate. Anytime we put an investment in our children, in our future, that means we're doing the right thing. And it's a gauge of what we're doing in city government. So when we're investing in our children, that means we're on the right path. So I'm excited to be here. I do want to shout out, I know Principal Suzanne Lee, the previous principal, the current principal, Principal Suhu. If it wasn't for the elementary school and the children and the teachers there never would have been a need to make a K-5 school become a middle school, become a high school. That was because there was a need from the students and the families seeing the amazing things that only a few children got seats there, and they knew if we could open up and have more seats, then more children would get the amazing experience that they're getting. And the current principal, Council Richard and Stephen, the amazing work you do for our middle school and high school. And even though I am so happy that we have this building that we deserve, you were doing amazing things when you were in closets down the street. So I do want to applaud you for the years where you were in transition and you never lost sight of, and I know the educators, I know one of you raised your hand. It's not always easy, but when you're a true educator and community and family and administration come together, we can teach anywhere, but to make sure that we're saying that our students deserve this building. And I was happy to hear that a lot of thought went into making sure that the Chinatown community has spaces when school's not in to use. So thank you, and I'll pass it on to Councilor Louis-Jean. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am so joyous to be here. I think for me, I'm in my second term on the Boston City Council as an at-large city councilor, and I also have the privilege of being the president of the Boston City Council. And I was here for the topping off ceremony, Mayor Wu. I remember that. I don't know if that was your first topping off ceremony. It was mine. And for us to be in this full circle moment is really beautiful. So I want to thank the administration for your dedication and commitment to our young kids. We want to see more of this. Our kids deserve these buildings. They deserve these facilities where they can go and their minds can develop and they can feel like we care about them as a city, that we affirm their dignity in the physical structure of their buildings. So I want to thank Dr. Wong. This is your vision, right here. This is your vision come to life. I want to thank the head of school, Principal Chang, for all of your work. And I also want to thank all of the teachers who were here. Some of them were my classmates, myself as a BPS kid. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing BPS graduates come back and be teachers. To the students, yes. To the head of school, and it's also so obvious that it's an all hands on deck effort. I see people from ISD here. I see people from this administration, from past administrations. I think I saw Pat Brophy here. We care so deeply about our students. I had the pleasure of being the commencement speaker last year at the Josiah Quincy Upper School, and I told the students it might be sad that you didn't get the privilege of this new building, but make sure you come back and be invested alumni. And this is a gem for the Chinatown community, as visible from the leaders who are here. But at that graduation ceremony, what's beautiful about this school is that it reflects the city of Boston. The sons and daughters of immigrants who come here with dreams and hopes that their children will break every barrier and will be able to be whatever they can be. So I'm just so overjoyed for the students who get to reap the benefits of this new building. And I want to thank all of my partners at the elected office, from Mayor Wu to State Treasurer Goldberg to Chair Michaelwitz to my colleagues on the Boston City Council, that this is the work, building these buildings and affirming our students every day. So I'm so happy to be here for this ceremony. And I'm going to pass it off to my at-large colleague, Councilor Henry Santana.
Morning, everyone. Henry Santana here, Boston City Councilor at large. I'm honored to represent the entire city, but I'm honored to represent this neighborhood as well. I'll keep my remarks short and echo some of my colleagues' comments. from firsthand experience, I know what it feels like to truly feel invested in by our teachers and by our elected officials and our leaders here in our school and in our city. And the students here, they're going to feel that investment, and in return, they're going to invest back, right? They're going to invest back in our schools. They're going to invest back in our classrooms and in our cities. And I just want to thank all our students who are here and who are going to reap the benefits of the school. But I also want to thank our educators, our teachers, our nurses, our cafeteria workers, our custodians, who are also going to be able to enjoy the school. So thank you. I'm honored to represent you all and honored to stand here with my elected officials. And I'm going to introduce someone who needs no introduction, your state rep, Chair of Ways and Means, Aaron Michaelwitz.
Thank you, Counselor. They say victory has 1,000 fathers, right? But ribbon cuttings have 1,000 speakers. So I'm going to be 1,001, and I'm going to be quick, but I just want to congratulate everyone. Today is a great day. It's a long time coming. With all due respect to all my friends behind here, I've served Chinatown the longest out of all my friends. And so I do remember the original meetings that we were having on this over 14, 15 years ago, maybe even before that. And I know some of the people that are in this that are in the crowd here that were in those rooms when that was happening. And I really give a credit to all the partners involved here to make it happen, to finally get this over the goal line. I especially want to thank the Chinatown community, who persevered through this conversation for years and made sure that we delivered a school that was worthy of the community itself. And I think I haven't been inside. I don't got that. I'm going to get that wow factor in a couple seconds here, I think. But I'm looking forward to seeing it because it's actually what Chinatown deserves. And I want to give former Councilor Linehan a shout out as well because he was in those rooms with me as well as an elected official back then. I was a lot younger back then. But as were you, Willie. All right. But in all seriousness, it's great to have the MSBA working in this community, getting this job done here in this community. I want to thank the treasurer. It's great to have you for a ribbon cutting in my district. I see you at a lot of events, but having you for a ribbon cutting here is great. The MSBA as well. I appreciate all the work that's been put in here and the partnership that took place. And I think that again, we're having a building here that's worthy of what the work that was put into it. I remember a time when the city of Boston did not partake with the MSBA. I don't want to say when that was, but it was a long time ago. And it's so great to see, the former administration here and the current administration here that took the ball and actually ran with it and actually used the tools that were in the toolbox related to making sure that we could get investments from the state into the city and making sure those dollars are being spent wisely. But as someone mentioned, this was a relay race. I think the mayor actually mentioned it was a relay race. But you can't finish a relay race without a real closer, and that's Mayor Wu. Michelle got this over the goal line, finished the job, put this building up here, and I'm very excited to see the fruits of her labor make it happen. And I'm very excited for all the partners, for the community, and all the school, and all the students, and everyone. So thank you for everyone that made this happen, and congratulations. And I'm going to pass it over to Executive Director Jones. Thank you.
Good morning, all. So the blessing and the curse of speaking last is that a lot has been said so far, but I want to come back to 3 words that have been mentioned. One being wow, full circle, and perseverance. So I am the Executive Director of the Public Facilities Department, but for a long time, I was at the Boston Public Schools, and I was the Director of Strategic Planning and Capital Planning. And I looked back, and I said, wow, I wrote the first SOI for this project. Now, this might not even be the first one, but I found one in my files for 2008, and it was signed by Superintendent then Carol Johnson. So the wow is, holy cow, I've been around for a long time. But also that this project took a long time. Come full circle, here we are. We're finally seeing such a beautiful facility open up. Can't thank enough people who have already been thanked. Mayor Wu, for instance, congratulations and thank you for your support for the project. Treasurer Deb Goldberg, she's been a staunch supporter for us. The team at the MSBA, many of them I'm seeing here. I can't name them all, but I'm just seeing here, so couldn't have done it without you. I want to point to some people in the Public Facilities Department that have not yet been mentioned that were key to this project. We have our senior project manager sitting on the second row, Ms. Ellen Gazenek. She was the one who got us over the finish line. I want to thank her predecessor, who started off as the project manager, who became an assistant director, who's now the deputy director, Ron McNulty. We had folks who are on the job, I don't want to say 24/7, but every single day of the job. We had our clerks of the works, Stan Cito and Bob Dillon. I forgot his last name. Bob Dillon. They're somewhere here in the audience. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you. And he was mentioned, but I'm going to mention him again, Assistant Director Evan Brinkman on design. He and I are probably the longest serving on this project, if I can think back that far, because he's been here as long. So Evan, standing back in the back, congratulations. Okay, so there are three consulting groups I just want to mention real quick. We had our design team. It's already been mentioned, HMFH, who's sitting here. Congratulations for your beautiful design. Thank you so much. Yay. Our contracting team from Turner Construction. They're around. There we go. I knew them. There we go. Turner Construction. Thank you, guys. They worked tirelessly on this project up to the last second. And we'll just keep that to ourselves. And then also our owner's project manager team from Scancer USA, Jim Dowd, Susan, and others. Congratulations. Thank you for your help. So that's really it. There's so many people that I recognize in the audience. I couldn't name them all, but we couldn't have done it without you. So we thank you for your support. So now I have a housekeeping, task. So as Mayor Wu mentioned, there will be a tour, but the tour is only for select folks who have already signed up for the tour, because this is an operating school, so we can't have everyone who's here go through. Everyone who's here go through. So before I say my last thanks, I want to just caution you that after the ribbon cutting, it'll be time for folks to kind of leave the area so that only the folks who are touring can go through. The last person I want to thank is the person who's my predecessor, the prior executive director, Carrie Griffin, who's standing back here, who some of us would say she jumped ship, but I'm not going to say that because she actually went to our partners at the MSBAs. So we're keeping it in the family. So thank you very much. So without further ado, I invite Daphne to come up to begin the ribbon cutting process. Thanks all.
Oh, thank you. It is on this side.
We're gonna go over there.
Yeah. So we are about to do the ribbon cutting, and to add to a special effect to the to this awesome event, we are going to have Dr. Bak-Fung Wong hit the gong after the ribbon cutting to symbolize the spirit of joy and a lot of heart that went into this process. So as they do the ribbon cutting, I hand it off to the mayor and her team, and then first, the gong first. Yeah. So we're gonna do the gong first, and then the ribbon cutting. Now. Daphne, I'm just going to put them right here.
Staff TV station.
We can extend it out a little bit more also. There's so many wonderful people.
You want people to move